welcome to Nash Talk Network. Our today's guest, we're going to tackle more about career and how he shifted from his teaching career into real estate. And we are also going to get into more details of how the struggles and the challenges that he went through running a business, especially living in America. I'm going to let him introduce himself. So please welcome, sir, to the show.
Thank you.
And thank you for accepting the invite.
Thank you.
So please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Musa Mugambi, and I live here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I've lived here for about 14 years now. Um, then I have a family,
Yeah.
my wife and 3 children,
Yeah.
and we love it here.
Oh, wow. That's great. So everybody has a story of coming to America.
Yes.
What is your interesting story?
My interesting story is that when I left college, Kenyatta University in 1998, and we were very unlucky lot because I trained as a teacher, and training as a teacher in Kenya, you are expected to get employed right away,
Yeah.
and we filled the TSC forms.
Yeah.
But that same year, the country was economy was at its knees,
Yes.
and the uh, the Minister for Finance, the late Nyachai, announced that there will be a freeze of employment of teachers for 3 years.
Wow.
And so I wasn't employed. So I went out and looked for a smoky barua in the village to teach as a teacher. I was earning 3,500 Kenya shillings then.
Yes.
And when I was teaching there, I heard about an opportunity to teach in CSAOs. I applied there. I wasn't lucky. And then there was another opportunity to teach in Philadelphia, USA. I applied, and I interviewed, and I was selected to come and teach in Philadelphia. We came as 14 Kenyan teachers to teach in Philadelphia. So that's my little story in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That's how I headed up here
Oh.
to teach science. Specifically, I'm a chemistry teacher. At first, many people did not believe. They thought actually it was a hoax because there were so many hoaxes during that time. People were cold money to go here. But for me, I had nothing to lose
Yeah.
because I didn't have anything in the first place. So, to be honest with you, I was, I had nothing to lose at all. So I just went by faith, and I was taken, and we there were others actually who even trying to discourage us from that, saying, "Hey, how can somebody go teach in U.S.?"
Yes.
I mean, it was unbelievable, and they
Yeah.
never came through the government.
Yeah.
It came from an individual who is a professor at Kutztown. His name is Moge, and he heard there's a shortage of teachers,
Yeah.
and he contacted the school district, and the
Yes.
school district was willing to come and hire.
Yes.
They actually brought 3 people to come and do the interviews in KU,
Wow.
and so I had nothing to lose. I went by faith, and here I am.
Wow, that was a great opportunity, if I might say. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a great
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah. Hmm.
Now you landed to the US with your family and then going to class. Like, I'm pretty sure those that are watching right now, they don't know the system of how schools are here.
Hmm.
The difference between back home and right here. And what were some of the shocks and culture shock?
Wow, I can write a book about that. It is a long story, so I just try to make it short.
Yes.
So landing in the U.S. on August 2nd of 2002.
Yeah.
We never came with our families right away, but all of us were given visas, but our spouses delayed because we had to come here and get an orientation, find a place for them, rent an apartment, things like that. So our families delayed a little bit. So they came. My family came 3 months later.
Mm-hmm.
But landing here and going through an orientation for 15 days or so, um, it was a culture shock. Teaching here is not it's nothing close to teaching in Kenya. Here, for example, a teacher has a classroom, and the students come to you, and after that period, they go. You get another bunch of students.
Or not like home, whereby you're the one that goes to class.
No, no, no. So this the teaching here is a high school, but teaching here is like college. So students actually select courses that they want to take.
And it's
So
a high school.
It's a high school, yeah, yeah, yeah. Even middle schools actually students also can select courses. But anyway, so starting here, it was definitely very hard. You can punish students. Some of the orientation was you can punish, you can tell students to kneel down like you did in Kenya. The biggest punishment is to call home and they say the child is not behaving well, and you hope that somebody who is answering the phone on the other line, on the other end of the line, has power over this child, because most of the parents don't even have the power to punish their own children.
Yeah.
So you just have to deal with it. But it was a big culture shock. So just to give you a small example, right? So the first day of school, students come to class, and you have to be at the door to greet them, and they come and they big. You don't even know them. There is no assembly to introduce you as a teacher. There is nobody to take you to class. And there is nothing like that. This is your room, and your student will come at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you're there. The student come and they say, "What's up, Mister?" Now, now that was the first time to hear that phrase. What's up? So guess what? I looked up, and these kids would bust laughing,
I know.
laughing, and I started sweating, and they end up the classroom. You saw them where to sit, and you have to introduce yourself. They have never heard somebody with an accent before, so as soon as you say something, they say, "What?" you know, and I survived that day. And I normally say if I actually had money to fly back, that day probably I would have just gone back to Kenya. But luckily, it was a one-way ticket. Yeah.
So there is no that whereby you are in class and then Kilam to stand up, sit down.
No, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're talking and they're also talking at the same time.
Yeah.
So they are very, the kids here are very disrespectful. I can tell you that.
Wow. Yeah. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Now let's go into more details of our main topic today, and that is business. And how you shifted perspectives, and what made you do that from teaching to what you do now?
So I have always been an entrepreneur, and I think I have known that for a very long time. When I was in college in KU, I had a tuck shop. I had a shop in school. In the shop, selling bread and juices and milk to students in the hostels. When I finished school, college, I also had a business. Even before I went to college, I used to do some selling Uji, even when I was in high school, I would sell Uji during the holidays and make money for pocket money for school. So I have never really relied on getting employment or even getting help from my parents entirely, because my parents were poor. So I have always known that I'm an entrepreneur. Coming to the US with the culture shock and not knowing the system very well, it took a little longer to get a business. But in 2011, I ventured into my first business, which was a home care business. And we were 11 people trying to open a home care It never went very well because of the large number of people and all different kind of views and things like that. So it's really never picked up very well because you're all working and at the same time operating a business, and some people will not give their contributions and on time, and the business never went very well. So eventually, one of us took over the business, and it actually continues even at today. Gift and Hands Home Care. Actually, that name, Gift and Hands, actually, I'm the one who coined the name for the business. So after that, it's when I shifted into real estate business. I was started going to school in about 2015, 2016, and taking classes here and there. Slowly by slowly. In 2017, I got licensed to be a realtor in Pennsylvania, and I have not turned back. So I've been doing both real estate and doing more during the summer, but also teaching. And I am glad to announce to you today that I have only 30 days remaining as a teacher.
Wow.
So June 2nd,
Yeah.
I am going to hang those boots, the teaching boots. I'm gonna hang them for good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what are your daily habits as an entrepreneur?
Uh, so my daily habits, I wake up at 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, to pray and, of course, study the Bible a little bit, and then, of course, go to teach. And in the evening, if I have a client who want to see houses, I am showing houses between 4, 5, 6 o'clock. And then, of course, I head home. If I don't have clients that need to see houses, then I have some paperwork to do for uh, those clients that I am already servicing. So I go to the office. We have an office here in Lancaster,
Yes.
and do some paperwork or grade, work for students because I'm still a teacher.
Yeah.
So there is a lot to be done, and then head home, of course, for dinner, and before we sleep, we have another time to pray with the children and with the family, and yeah. So
Wow, that's great. So what are your major failures and struggles uh, through running this business? I understand that the America system is totally different now that this is a first world country, and we come from the third world country. So the system back home and the system back here is totally different. So what are your major struggles and failure through running real estate business?
uh, the major struggle here is really our people. To get our people to believe in you is harder. You actually get people who probably don't know you believe you more than even the people that know you. So it's people to get people to trust that you're gonna do the right thing and help them. uh, it's hard, and people think that you are because we come from a country where people take advantage of each other, right? To rise to the top, you have to step on other people.
Yes.
And people really think that we do the same here, and I can tell you no. So to educate, for example, people to know that to own a home, it's not just owning a home; it's actually an investment. It's a huge investment. To educate somebody, tell them that you are paying somebody else's mortgage when you're renting. The people, no, he wants a commission. No, I am educating you to actually realize that you are wasting the same money that you're working so hard to earn. You're wasting it by paying somebody else's rent.
Yeah.
Can you purchase your own home, live there peacefully? That's one, but also earn equity. The equity, because your home is growing in equity every day.
Yeah.
That you, when you pay that mortgage, some of that money is your equity. When you pay rent, all that money is somebody else's equity, not your equity.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest challenge.
Yes.
What I could count as my failure is starting too late. I should have probably started the first year when I realized teaching here was so hard.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have thought about
God.
venturing into business rather than starting 15 years later, because I
Yeah.
really started 15 years later. So I worked
Yeah.
for 15
years.
years. My dream was um, unexploited for 15 years. So that's what I count as my biggest failure, because I really have seen those 5 years that I've been doing real estate, I have been happier than ever before. Even if it was harder, running
Yes.
to
Yeah.
career, almost careers, because both of them are professional.
Yes.
It has been a little challenging.
How did you get your first client?
Oh my! So I thank God, because I have been blessed by great friends.
Yes.
I have very good friends,
Yeah.
people that believe in me. So when I was actually going to school, one of my friends knew I'm going to a real estate school, and he said, "I actually want to buy a house for my parents." And he was actually patient to wait for me to finish school and get my license.
Yeah.
And I practiced with him, and it was a very nice transaction.
Yes.
I was able to negotiate for him, because I'm a good negotiator. I can tell you that. He got closing costs paid for by the seller.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very nice transaction. The parents are still very, very happy with that house. It was my first transaction, so that was my first client. He's a good friend of mine.
Yes.
And I am sure you wouldn't mind me mentioning his name here, James Tongo. He waited for me to get my license and help him buy a house for his parents.
Oh, wow.
And I am highly indebted to his kindness, because it was a nice, smooth way for me to really know that this works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you like about being an entrepreneur, and what makes you keep going?
Oh my goodness. Freedom.
Oh yeah.
Freedom. Yeah. The freedom to really decide what to do on a daily basis, and I can't wait just to do this full time.
Yes.
You can have your own schedule, you can work as many hours as you want, and really get compensated well for what you do. You're working hard, and you're like now. I work so hard as a teacher, but I don't think I am compensated, enough for what I do. To be honest, because teaching here, you take work home. Most people finish their work in their office. A teacher takes work home, and they are the most criticized of all professionals. We make all the other professionals, but we get we get hit, or criticized more.
Yes.
So the freedom to be able to make my own schedule, the freedom to be able to go out there and impact people's lives that appreciate what you do. I can tell you, every time the clients that I have serviced, they are always writing notes to me and saying how much they value the home that I helped them buy. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
People appreciate, they appreciate what I have been able to help them achieve. Some people are actually almost starting get ready to even sell their homes and acquire more.
Wow.
I have one client that I helped buy a home 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They just bought a second home using equity from their first home. It's phenomenal. I mean, using They took a line of credit from their first home that they bought
Yes.
in 2018
Yes.
and end of 2018
Mm-hmm.
and to buy another home for rental using
Yes.
that equity.
Wow.
How can you beat that price?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and there is somebody who did not buy a home in 2018 and they're
Mm-hmm.
still renting and they can't even buy right now.
Yes.
Interest rates are very high
Yes.
and and homes have of course increasing in price. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how my friend has been able to use that equity.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between uh, the the uh, the price of the home then and the
Mm-hmm.
price of the home now has increased tremendously.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
difference, they can take that money out as equity
Mm-hmm.
and use it as collateral to buy another home.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow. Competitive. It's a competitive market.
Yes.
Do you face any competition? Do you
Absolutely.
feel?
But I'm also competitive.
I like that.
Right, I educate myself, I
Yes.
read books,
Yes.
I educate myself every time.
Yes.
I'm always meeting my broker all
Yes.
the time
Yes.
he has been in the business for over 40 years.
Yes.
So educating myself and hanging around those people who have been in this business longer than myself
Mm-hmm.
has kept me at the edge, on the
Mm-hmm.
edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So, what advice do you have for the aspiring entrepreneurs, those that are aspiring to be to get into business and get out of employment?
So one is do not let fear hold you back.
Yeah.
Um, Always try if you think that you really want to be an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
find people who have succeeded in what you want to do, and that's where you get advice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go asking somebody how whether going into real estate business
Mm-hmm.
from somebody who is renting.
Mm-hmm.
They won't give you good advice.
Yeah.
Don't go ask somebody who failed in a certain area of business. Don't ask them advice because you really don't know their work ethic. I have tried to train even some Kenyans
Mm-hmm.
here because there is a lot of business that I want. Actually, I am looking for my own team of realtors
Mm-hmm.
to join me so that
Mm-hmm.
we can service the people. Right now, I have one realtor in school, and I have another two realtors in my team right now who are in my team,
Mm-hmm.
and I have one in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I want more. But I have seen people going to find advice of whether it's good to do this from people who are not, first of all, they failed in what they, so why would you go seek advice from somebody who failed in something? First of all, you don't know exactly why they failed. And there's always two sides to every story,
Yeah.
right? So they will only tell you the sign that they want you to know. They won't tell
Yeah.
you that
Yeah. That's
probably
it.
they had a bad work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one realtor that I hired 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
they could not stay because one is they were running the business like running a business is not like being an employee.
Mm-hmm.
You can't wait for somebody to motivate you. You can't wait for somebody to tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be the person to tell yourself what to do.
Yeah.
Running a business is not a job. You have to change that mentality
Mm-hmm.
of an employee mentality to an entrepreneur mentality, which is a big shift. It's a
Mm-hmm.
big shift. You can't just be sleeping and waiting for somebody to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest thing is
Mm-hmm.
you want to get into business
Mm-hmm.
with an employee mentality. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
You have to be motivated. You have to work hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not working hard thinking that you're clocking in and
Mm-hmm.
count the hours you've been working to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're gonna show home 30, 40 times,
Mm-hmm.
and probably this client is gonna get tired and not buy, and you
Mm-hmm.
can't quit because of that.
Yeah.
And maybe the next client, you're gonna show him the first home, and they're gonna buy it, and you're gonna get paid an enormous amount of money,
Yeah.
and that is gonna compensate for all the other showings that never produced any results. So you have to have a thick skin
Yeah.
when getting into business. But business is the way to go because one, you create you when you're in business, you are a creator, right?
Yeah.
When you are in an employee, you are a consumer. You are just, you are earning from somebody who has created the business.
Yeah.
So it is the shifting of your mentality that really
Yeah.
makes business work.
Thank you so much for coming to the show today. We really, really appreciate, and I'm still gonna have you the next time. Thank you so much. And for the viewers, continue sharing my content and show some support. So thank you so much.